Firefighters are racing to save a giant grove of ancient sequoias as flames continue to spread across thousands of acres of California's Yosemite National Park. Some of these sequoias have been on our planet for more than 2,000 years, but all it takes is one fire to bring these towering trees down. Environmental expert for National Geographic, Alejandra Borunda, joining me now. So, Alejandra, President Biden was just briefed on this fire, we're told, and even his press secretary made this connection to climate change, saying that extreme weather is making these wildfires more intense. As the climate scientist, is he right?
Absolutely. We've seen an incredible shift in the wildfire behavior across the West and across the whole country in recent years, and there's a really direct connection between that behavior and climate change. The Western U.S. is in this incredible ongoing drought that's, it's been in drought essentially for 20 years now. And what that does is dries out the atmosphere and dries out the wood that is now burning. So the drier the West, the more prone to wildfires it's going to be. And that has a really clear climate connection.
So what role have we all played on Yosemite National Park? Look, this is a place I grew up going to as a kid, camping, and have many stories. I mean, so many people I know with whom I grew up with, that was the place to just get out into nature. So can anything be done to just keep them natural and still allow all of us to come see the sights and enjoy the beauty?
Yeah, that's a really interesting question, Kara. I think one of the things that we're seeing right now is actually this change in the idea of what is natural, because fires are a totally natural part of this ecosystem. This part of the world has burned pretty regularly for its entire ecological history. And when the indigenous people were managing the land area, they were using fire very regularly to keep the forest healthy. And so that's one of the kind of tricky things about this situation is that fires actually can be really good for many of these forests, just not the kind of really catastrophic, super intense wildfires that we've seen in the past couple of years that have killed about 20% of the sequoia population across the state. And so there's this really interesting balance that resource managers and land managers and scientists are trying to hit right now, where you actually, to keep the forests healthy, you have to introduce more fire, more kind of low-level controlled burns whenever possible to kind of do what we're talking about, like clear out some of the low-level stuff that's really contributing to the catastrophic kinds of fires that we've seen. So kind of in this counterintuitive way, adding some fire back into these landscapes is the more natural thing to do, and it's a thing that's actually protecting the Mariposa groves that we were talking about earlier, because the grove itself has seen this really incredible history of intentional prescribed fire over the past 50 years. It's been burned more than 20 times intentionally, and that really helped firefighters and fire managers protect the trees in the midst of this fire right now, because the behavior really changed when it got to the grove. The fire was really intense outside, and then it got to this place that had seen a lot of careful fire. And people were telling me that the fire just dropped straight down to the ground and had this actually really beneficial effect.
The sequoias, I'm just looking at these pictures here that we're rolling. They're such an incredible tree. They're so beautiful. I have so many pictures of my kids growing up, looking up, feet into the air. There's something spiritual about it. And saving the sequoias, let's just talk about that effort. You started to touch on it. Why are these ancient trees so special?
Oh, I mean, you were saying it better than I could. I think they're incredible specimens that have lived through so much, and they've experienced so much. In many cases, like some of these trees, for several thousand years, they just have this wonderful history, and they're remarkable trees in and of themselves. They can get so tall. They are pretty fire resistant. Like we're talking about, like a minor fire won't even, break through their really strong bark. And they're just these incredible kind of ways to look at what the planet can do in amazing ways. It's really cool that this kind of creature and this kind of living thing exists on this planet. So I think, yeah, whatever we can do to kind of preserve the trees themselves, but also kind of the respect for the ecology in which they evolved, and give them back this space to live how they want to live and have lived for thousands of years, is a really important thing to try to do.
I just love what National Geographic does, and it was so great to have you a part of this conversation, Alejandra. It gives a whole different look at the fight against the fires, and that actually a little fire can be good. It's all about balance, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Fires, we obviously do not want any catastrophic fires to come anywhere near communities or people's houses, but all fire is not bad. Some fire is good fire.
Alejandra, thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.